Welcome to We the Thunder. No thunder sound effects because guess what, folks? I'm calling it in the first 11 seconds of the show. This season is over. To end game four, like they just did, winning with about 5 minutes left, and to give up 2 goals in 11 seconds, we ain't coming back. This series is over. I'm done. I think they're done too. Sorry. There's no optimism here. I hope you're on mute, Schooley, because I just can't hear you.
You're not showing online. You're showing offline, but I can hear you. So can anybody hear Shooter? Shooter say, oh, nope, they're saying they can't hear you.
You got to bring me on to the stage.
How do you do that?
Look for left-hand side, second menu, and then you're going to have to...
There you go. Go ahead, Shooter.
Add me. All right, am I on now?
Yeah.
All right, restart. Cool music. Lightning, thunder sound effects. Welcome to We the Thunder. Oh, hold on. I'm supposed to pause first. Wait, I forgot how to do this, just like the Lightning forgot how to win playoff games. Welcome to We the Thunder. No sound effects tonight. I'm on my way to my playoff hockey game where I sure as hell am not going to give up 2 goals in 11 seconds. We saw that happen twice tonight. We can make this show 11 seconds long because you're not going to get any optimism from me. We're done. This series is over. There's no coming back from losing a game the way we just lost it. We are cooked. What do you say?
I don't know. I think we still have the chance to come back. I think game 5, you think there's going to be a suspensions coming into game 5 first?
There should be 2. I think maybe there's 1. Which, by the way, who scores the game tying goal? Not once, but twice. Ekblad.
Yeah, Ekblad keeps. It's shown he's been a menace to us, a thorn on our side there. So,
well, it's easy when you do steroids all season, and then get a nice little 20 game rest before the postseason. I mean, the Panthers really are. I thought it was cute the last 2 years when they made the Stanley Cup Finals, but I mean, the way that it feels like the advantages they get with, we didn't mention it yet because we haven't been on since last show. Tkachuk doesn't get suspended. It's not an eye for an eye on almost an identical hit. Who was it? Barkov did not possess the puck as much as Jake, but it's still a late hit. And it's the player safety group trying to keep the players safe who's dishing out these suspensions. Somehow, Tkachuk doesn't get a suspension, even though it was almost an identical play. So do I expect any suspensions for Florida Panthers players? I don't expect any, to be honest with you. I don't expect any. They don't do many suspensions if they don't call the penalty on the ice. Did they call the penalty on Ekblad when he took Hagel out for the game? That is the saving grace, and why he might get maybe 1 game if we're lucky is because Hagel's out for who knows how long, maybe the rest of the season.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it will be concussion protocol for today's game at least. It's going to
By
be
the way, Ekblad, I don't know how many people saw this because I was watching the ESPN feed, and I know a lot of folks prefer to listen to Dave and Brian on FanDuel. Ekblad in the first period, same hit except from behind on Gord. ESPN shows it as they're kind of doing like a little highlight reel to go to a commercial about halfway through the first period. Same thing, forearm directly to, this time, the back of Gord's head. So Ekblad not only took out Hagel, but he was also swinging that arm at Gord earlier in the game, and those were the only two caught on camera, but I don't think a lot of people saw that because they weren't watching ESPN.
Yeah, I'd seen Jay had tweeted it out, and then you tweeted it out on We the Thunder Pod about him hitting Gord, and then I saw Kim tweeted out about ESPN then showing the replay with it. I got to imagine that the refs that were also in this game will not be going further in the playoffs past this round either. Because it was very bad officiating tonight. Very bad officiating.
Well, we can blame the refs, and the refs should get some blame. But I'll tell you what, there was two turning points in the game. Obviously, when Hagel gets knocked out of the game, and Cooper finally shows some sort of emotion, and what do you know, gets his team to respond. Not Cooch, not Point, not Hedman. It's, of all people, Chafee and Chernak that score the goals. But obviously, this team was pumped for the first time this series, and more than I ever have in the past, including 2019 and before. I got to blame the coaching. To go through and have a 5-minute power play in the third period to start that third period, and to put, maybe two shots on goal, and to do absolutely nothing this entire series to change their approach to the power play. How do you expect to win? Doing the same thing over and over again. If I remember correctly, that's the definition of insanity. So I got to blame the coaches on this one. Sure, it's the players on the ice. I'm sure Vassie's getting a boatload of hate on Twitter and everything right now. But I don't know who saves that funky, our last tweet on We the Thunder was, there are no hockey gods. There are no hockey gods.
I was listening to the pre-show, and it had Bobby the Chief, and they were asking him. Eric has put this question out to everybody. I've heard him at least ask 4 different people if he thought the penalties would be a little bit less, knowing that this was such an important game. And the Chief's statement was, not until the Lightning start scoring on that power play. The Panthers are not going to stop hitting them hard, stop causing penalties until the Lightning make them pay for it. And you saw tonight, again, the Lightning do not capitalize on any kind of penalty. And they have just been abysmal on this whole series, besides the very first one by Jake. Other than that, they have not scored on any power play. And barely have shots.
Yeah. Not even getting good chances. And I kind of made fun of ESPN during the first intermission because their awesome commentary after that 0-0 period was, the Lightning need to shoot on the power play. No shit. But they have a point. And the point that they were making was, at the very least, if Hedman or especially Radish, who has a heavier shot, is shooting it from that top spot where they have some sort of space, you're at least scaring them from stepping in front of that puck. Because once you take 2 or 3 shots to the foot, to the pads, it starts to hurt. And you think about stepping in front of it the 4th time. So they're 100% right. The Lightning did nothing to adjust. Huge rebounds all game by Bobrovsky. Nobody in front to get those rebounds. And ironically, it's a rebound goal that they tied it on. And then I don't even know what the fuck to call the game-winning goal. I mean, like I said, sorry to not be optimistic, but put a fork in these guys. You lose a game like that, you're done. Maybe they come home and win one more. No chance they win this series. If they win the series, Thomas Schooley, I will jump into Tampa Bay right behind Amelie there. If they win this series, it is on tape. That's how strong I feel that we just lost this series in 11 seconds.
And then something else you pointed out the other night that you said part of the reason, the part of what we would need to do to win tonight's game was to score first.
Well, I
And
listed my keys of the game on We the Thunder Pod, and guess what? We lost. We didn't do any of that stuff, and we still almost won. But no, if we did those things, we would have won.
I would go to the comments, but every single time I try going to the comments, it takes you off screen. So I don't usually
I don't
shooters
even need to be on screen.
shooter. Well, they can't even hear you. But usually shooters in charge of all this. So me seeing this backstage crap is not really like as soon as I click on anything, you go bye-bye. So you go backstage again. So I keep having to pull you back up. So, but Monday night, or was it Wednesday night, back here at Emily, 7:30 game?
Yeah.
Yes, 7:30 game. Cats coming to try to finish the series. Bolts looking to make it 3-2. You say it's done here? You think
I think
the
we're going to
Lightning
lose
pull
at home on Wednesday for sure.
You think so?
You don't come back from losing that way. You don't come back from losing that way. We just gave them all the momentum in that third period. Let's not forget, we had a 5-minute power play where we could barely get a shot off. They had chances to win the game, and they would have been right back in the series if they could have held them off. It's over. I'm done being optimistic. And you know what? Even if they make it to the next round, you want to get crushed by Toronto? Because that's what's going to happen.
So real quick, I'm going to go through these some of these comments. Barkov didn't come. Player injury comes into play. Barkov didn't come back because the game was over. Getzel wasn't injured, so no need for suspension. Realistically, Mike Douglas says 2 suspensions. Even if the series ends on Wednesday, it's a shame we never got to see what Bjorkstam could have done.
Bjorkstam wouldn't have made any difference in this series.
Eric Costello said, until we play like Florida, when we have a lead, the season is over. Can't constantly turn over the puck in the offensive zone and expect to win. Mike Douglas lack of scoring on the 5-minute power play. Eric says they're the worst of all playoff teams. Gregory Gentry.
We're the worst of all playoff teams.
Yeah. Gregory Gentry says we haven't scored first on any game. Eric says I'm debating not even watching Game 5. Too frustrating.
I'll tell you what, I really don't even want to go to Game 5, given that in the last 3 years, I've seen them win one playoff game, which was a Game 5 for nothing. So here we go again. Was that a Game 5? Were we home? We had home ice last year.
No.
That wasn't a Game 5. That was a 6.
Yeah, no. Game 6.
All right. Well, last year doesn't matter. I got to go back to, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago, the last meeting against Toronto at home? We did a post-game show, right? That's when I broke this out. I broke out the camera. That's when I got this stand. And I said it then, and here I am a couple weeks later. I'm about to say the same exact thing. Toronto, in that game, killer instinct. Killer instinct. Florida, this series, killer instinct. Tampa, these guys don't have a killer instinct. The point is just getting completely washed out of this series. And by the way, it was Point leading the way when we were making it to the Stanley Cup Finals. It was Point scoring a ton of goals and Kucherov making most of the assists. Kucherov hasn't scored a goal in 13 playoff games.
Yeah, it's really bad when your Art Ross Trophy winner has not scored at all for the last 2 years.
Yeah, and then you finally get the Chafies and the Chernak of all people to put one in, and then you have a third period where you're on the power play for 5 minutes. You do nothing. You're holding them off. You're holding them off. You're holding them off. You're not getting much offensively going at all. And they really didn't all game, by the way. Florida was way better this whole game, even though we almost won. So they had plenty of chances to win. That's why I say
real quick on that the hit on Brandon Hagel. It's getting tiresome answering questions about a hit every single game, so let's move on. Is his response to that?
Who, Cooper's?
Yep.
Cooper's losing it, man. He's losing his touch. I'm not seeing the adjustments. I'm not seeing him motivate his team. And I'm not seeing us win a playoff series anytime soon.
See, I thought after that hit, I thought I saw where he had motivated them. They scored 2 in the franchise record 11 seconds, which oddly enough, the Panthers also scored in 11 seconds, setting a franchise record for them. And then him, I mean, because when there was no call, he absolutely blew his mind when there was no call on that. And then we go right out, Chafee, Chernak both scoring the 2 goals. And then you see him, from what I can see that he's saying, it looks like it says, fuck right off. That's how we fucking do it. Is from what I could see and what I see other people are agreeing on.
I don't know if they can hear you.
They can't hear me.
Yeah, I can though.
Why don't you think they can hear me?
I'm right. Definitely can't hear you.
No, I think that was at the beginning.
No, he's still saying it. Oh, now he can hear me. All right. I don't know. I'm on the road. I am gonna go play a hockey game, and there's no fucking way the team I'm playing is gonna score 2 goals in 11 seconds. Mostly because it's beer league, and I don't think that's possible in beer league. But holy cow. What a disappointing game. To me, this is the end of the season. And now Schooley's offline. So this is pretty much.
Shooter's going to go up.
All right, they hear you.
All right, you're going to play. Go play.
I got a couple minutes. What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
I think Coop had them going there. I think he had rallied them. I think then the offsides call, which clearly 2 players were offside. Don't know what the rest were looking at there to even think that was a goal. I thought that really went in the Lightning's favor. I don't know where they lost it at this end. They just could not clear the zone. But we've seen that problem all throughout the season. They can't clear their zone. And the other teams make them pay for it.
Yeah, and of all people, Jake Gensel, who's been so good on offense and in our own zone, is the person that can't get it out. And I think he was interfered with. After he couldn't get that out, he got a good bump from Mr. Steroids himself, who then just went unnoticed, which, by the way, sneaks right behind Braden Point to jump on a wide open rebound. Nobody around for that to happen. is unacceptable. And when that happened, I knew we were going to lose this game. I thought it was going to be an overtime, though. I didn't think it was going to be 10 seconds later.
And you know what? Also, I find crazy is that so Egblad was suspended for the performance enhancing drugs. Everybody knows that. The Panthers and him were notified of it before it officially became on record. And who did they go and get at the trade deadline? Seth Jones, before the announcement of him being suspended was put. They just so happened to get a D guy to replace him while he was suspended. And which two guys just won the game for them? Egblad and Jones. So it's and then the delayed start date for the Lightning, taking 4 days before we actually got to play again. I mean, it just seemed like the NHL, and I am not one of the conspiracy people, but they have just been catering to the Panthers this whole postseason so far.
It's been like that for a couple years. The Panthers notoriously for somehow get away with these, like the Tkachuk not getting suspended. Now, luckily, Tkachuk was a non-factor in this game, except he had some cheap shots this game that I saw. But they seem to keep getting away with murder out there, or everything but murder. It's just sad, but I still think the Lightning need to learn how to put it in extra gear, and they can't. And sure, Coop motivated them, got really fired up after the Hagel hit, and motivated the team a little bit. But there's more dynamics to coaching than just firing up your team, which he seems to do a good job without, being emotional. There's the X's and O's of it, and 100% being outcoached this series. 100%. Cooper is part of the main reason, and his coaching staff, of why we're going to lose this series.
Yeah, I don't think we lose game 5. I don't know if we can win 3 straight against the Panthers. That's for sure.
Maybe if Ekblad and Mikolov get suspended for multiple games, but what is the chance of that happening?
Yeah, no.
I feel like neither one of them are going to get suspended, to be honest with you.
So
there's a comment that goaltender is the number one reason they lose the series for 4th consecutive year. No chance. You don't know what you're talking about.
This is the 4th straight playoff series that Tampa Bay Lightning have trailed 3-1. That's from Evan Klosky. There was another one that's pointed out every single year. Vasi's numbers have went down.
He's definitely not the goalie he was. I guess I will want to take a look at that game-winning goal. What a pathetic game-winning goal. I guess I want to look at it again. But didn't it just ricochet off of the boards? McDonough. Bassett couldn't collect it. That's a tough goal to stop. Nobody that is here with us live or who's going to listen to this show afterwards, not a single one of you would be able to stop that puck as easy as it looked. The game-tying goal, Ekblad's wide open in front of the net. You can't blame that on Vasi. I'm sorry. You have a team here. Our defense is not nearly as good as Florida. And that's just not our defense. That's our whole team defense, too. All 5 players on the ice play defense. I don't know what's wrong with Vasi. He's definitely hurt.
They don't even know if he should be playing goalie. Right now. They had a third goalie at practice today. Didn't say who the third goalie was and didn't say why he was at practice, but they did have a third goalie there on the ice for practice this morning.
That's weird. Maybe Vassy, sir. I think Hedman's definitely hurt, and it's almost to the point where he needs to sit out because he was horrible this game. Sorelli has given a valiant effort, but he is obviously hurt. And just kind of
he missed practice today. It was good coaching decision, and we debated this last game, sitting Geeky and leaving Chafee in. But I think I'm sorry, but I think you have to go with healthy team on Wednesday. If Sorelli is injured and can't go 100%, you got to put someone like Geeky in there and have Geeky and Chafee in there. I thought Chafee was probably one of the bright stars of tonight's game. And I think you have to go with whoever's healthy.
I'm looking through some of the comments. Araska says, can we talk about how bad Perbix and Lilleberg are? I mean, we've been talking about that for over 80 games now. So is it a surprise that they got caught with their pants down on that first goal, just standing around? No, they did it all season long. All season long. Perbix, and everyone's got their own opinion on this, and that's fine. But Perbix actually is much better defensively. He's positioned better, and he's much better at just controlling and getting the puck out. Lilleberg, we love him because he can hit. He shouldn't even be in the NHL right now. Should not be in the NHL.
No, not at all.
But he can hit. He's just not hitting enough for this series.
And the one bright side, Chafee's first postseason goal and point, Lilleberg's first postseason point also.
Kyle says this isn't a podcast. This guy is venting. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's kind of what this podcast is. Usually we're having a good time though, because this team usually wins. But no, that's a devastating loss. Like I said, in my opinion, they're done. That's it. This was the last game of the season. I mean, they're going to show up for game 5. Maybe they even F around and win game 5. No chance for winning 3 straight versus Florida. It ain't going to happen. Not the way we play. And I think the thing that people need to remember is the Lightning have been good for so long. All of these teams in the Atlantic Division were built to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. And guess what? What was our record against the Atlantic Division this entire year? Did we even win 5 games? Did we even win 5 games? So these teams are built to beat us. And that's what we're seeing right now. So I give the Panthers credit. I mean, they are the dirtiest team I've seen in a long time. But to beat a team with physicality and play like that, you got to give it right back to them. And they finished they all series. They finished all of their checks. We ramped it up a little bit, but did we finish all our checks? Not even close. If you go take a look at the hits
what
this
time's your
game,
hockey game?
in 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And are you trying to get rid of me?
No, I thought it was at 10:20.
Oh shit! Hopefully it's not. No, I better go. I think it's 10:40, but I should go. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, look up hits. They must out hit us 2-1.
You did text me and say your game's at 10:20.
Oh, all right. Well, I should go then.
Yeah, you're a little late.
All right. Well, Yeah, sorry for the not so optimistic outlook, but when you lose a game like that and you go down 3-1, there's no coming back. Season's over. We'll be live Wednesday night, no matter what. I will still be cheering for the Lightning, but I don't see him coming back in this one. All right.
All right. And that's about it.
Yeah, I got to go. Go
All
Bolts.
right, everybody. Have a good night. We're not sure if we will be broadcasting from downtown Tampa on Wednesday or not. Move him out of there. Not sure if we're going to be from downtown Tampa or if we're just going to be from our houses or Emily. So join us on Wednesday after a win, hopefully. That's it. And everybody have a good night. Go Bolts.